Hi guys, welcome back to another Fours Max F series guide. This time I'm going to be on Mage Roll, and as you can see, Mage Roll is very similar inventory to Melee Freeze. The only switch is you add an extra Mage switch, so you now have a 6-way instead of the Swift Blade, and that extra switch should be Vertis Robe bottoms, or you can bring a cheaper version is Vertis Robe top and Ancestral bottoms. If you sell the Ancestral top, then it's cheaper, but if you keep full Ancestral because you have Shadow, then Vertis Robe bottoms are cheaper. It doesn't matter, both of them work out to the same max it. If you instead have Ancestral bottoms, you only get a Sang max and you don't get a Barrage max, whereas with Vertis bottoms, you get both a Sang max and a Barrage max. So I run in here. Just to note, this guy, Tevo, is pretty new to the max I've seen, so he's going to make some mistakes. Run in here. I ping the 3 like a ton because I'm late, obviously, because I switched late. He does not look for that ping and freezes 4s for some reason. I think as the South Mage, you should really be cognizant and looking. Like, you don't even have to be looking. You just have to be aware that it's possible to ping. So here, there weren't any 3s, so that worked out. But if I had to imagine if there were 3s and I pinged, probably wouldn't have gotten them. But yeah, if you're south, again, I'm north here on Mage because I have a higher barrage max. Yeah, so I'm trying to explain it to him here. And then, yeah, you just bow until 30s. I can do one more bow here. Maybe another bow, kind of greedy, but anyways. Switch, and then on north again, you also want to hover your mouse kind of between 1 and 2 so you can catch 2 first tick. On that spawn, he actually caught his south to his first tick, which was good. And then you freeze all the crabs. If you had claws here, from only having to BGS once at the start, you would dump them on the skip. And then again, money raids, you want to minimize the time between rooms, so I just usually drop salve, pick it up. Salve is the simplest item to drop because no one else can see it since it's untradeable. And then I eat an angler, run straight in. The first person who loads the Bloat instance should always start the room. And the way you get run through BGSs here is you walk to this purple tile, and then you click the boss as soon as you're on that purple tile. And then I don't know what I was pinging there, but and then yeah, once you do some BGSs, now I'm 50% spec, so I'm gonna go for the 5 scythe chalet. I don't do 5 scythe chalet because okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I was probably explaining something to you. Oh, I was typing. Okay. So here, instead of 5 scythe chalet, I can do claw, 5 scythe flinch, and then a 7th hit. Because I had hit the boss 2 ticks after it went down. You hit the boss 1 tick after it goes down, you're on tick for 6 tick, but usually you have to fly to do that. You're on tick for 6 ice flinch, and then a 7th hit. But 2 ticks, fix 1 tick with the claw, and you get 7 hits. And then because I used my spec earlier, I just scythe the boss until it dies on the second down. That 7th hit can be especially the difference if you're going for 1 down or if you do some money necking. And there I just eat an angler for the sake of eating it, and yeah, I just got a little hungry actually. Alright, now we're going into Nylocas. So again, on Nylocas, this guy Tevo, he's pretty new, so don't judge him too much, but I'm trying to teach him while we're doing these. And then yeah, so the major pretty much, I probably should put my blowpipe maybe a better spot, but usually I just have 1 less mage switch, so I don't have those void legs there. Maybe could put my void legs where the BGS is, but anyways. I also, it's pretty good to notice, maybe I'll end up putting my blowpipe where the T-bow is later waves. But it's good to notice that I put my claws right there, and that's so that when I equip my claws, the shield will always like go next to him, or the trident will go next to where the shield ends up. And then here I go mage. I went to I switched to mage in case there was magers that spawned from the big. Instead melee spawned. Then here you can side south, but I don't really want to fill up the room right now. Again, because we have some learning, so I'm just clearing smalls because the room is pretty full. So because I cleared smalls, I'm able to. And then the reason we stall here is because, I think we stalled 15. But anyways, if we did, it's because that melee big got attacked. If the melee big does not die when it enters south, you really just want to wait for it to explode before you kill the smalls. And then here, generally the mage rolls are the ones that pop the bigs, and then the range and melee DPS are the ones supposed to clean up the smalls. So you can see me popping that big, getting ready for this barrage. I see that there's another barrage there, and then I trident. Then I do another barrage. Very good. And then here, after that big pre-fire, you have 8 ticks till the next 23 pre-fire. And then after 23 pre-fire, you have 4 ticks till the 24 pre-fire. After 24, you have 4 ticks till the 25. After 25, you have 4 ticks till 26. So you some of those could be used to get some of the other bigs that start out range and usually get T-bowed. So if the ranger noodles on them, you get those. The melee freeze got his side of mages. And then here on cleanup, you do want to focus barrages as the major because here I also see the melee freeze is on that big, so I could have left it, but it's easy enough to double up. I think something went wrong where I noodled, but I definitely should have barraged these sooner. I go for barrage on that crab, and then those crabs. Works out to 302, which is pretty terrible, but again, have someone learning. And then mage roll generally will BGS, then claw. If you BGS claw, then it goes to range phase. You can get bloat pipe, bow, bloat pipe, or no, bow, bloat pipe, bow. I unfortunately did not bloat pipe there for some reason. I think I might have noticed that I dropped a tick or something, or maybe I noticed that I was still on accurate. Oh yeah, I was still on accurate. I noticed I was on accurate earlier, but I didn't fix it. And that's why I didn't bloat pipe it. But you really want to, if you're gonna accurate bloat, you really want to switch it back. I have a really bad habit of leaving it on accurate, which is really bad. Probably not even worth for me to bloat at all. Bloat at all if I'm gonna leave it on accurate. Here I just pick up the angler, eat it, then that way I have enough. Here you can also put on a bellator. I think I might forget to put on the bellator, but since you're not hammering first tick, you kind of just want to camp the bellator while bowing. When the torture, wait for him to come in and start it. On the mage roll, generally, okay, I do put on the bellator. Generally on the mage roll, you are the backup hammer. So you bow, you scythe, and then you watch to see if it's 2 hammers. It's not, so I hammer. And then I was the only one that hit, so I hammer again for a second because it's still above 90. If it's 1 hammer and below 90, it's kind of been too long for you to hammer again. So you just save your specs below 90 because you're not going to make that big of a difference. It works out to pretty fast phase at 28 seconds. And then, you do kind of want to put a vertical camera on when you get chosen because it is hard to see the maze sometimes there when it's right in front of you. But, so I did lose some ticks there. I was also waiting a tick because, again, just kind of making sure that people who are newer are able to run the maze. I definitely want to take a few venges. When you're taking venges, you want to make sure that you don't take 2 consecutive hits especially if you're a major and not being able to vend yourself. Even if you're like 105 or whatever, so where you wouldn't die to 2 consecutive hits, you don't want to take damage off Venge. And then here, just run the maze, scythe the boss. I'm all out of specs, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But if I had spec, I would have been flicking my Hammer and Defender. The way you want to do it is you scythe, and then you click your Hammer and Defender and Ultor. As soon as you scythe, after clicking all that, you look to see if there's 2 hammers. If there's not 2 hammers, then you spec. If there are 2 hammers, it's easy enough to click Scythe Bellator and attack the boss. We still get 155, which is pretty fast. Ultor on for Xarpus. And then in Xarpus, the mage default is going to be Scythe BGS, or sometimes people call it O2, because you usually end up BGSing twice to get it down all the way down to 0 defense. This setup allows you to get 2 restores and 2 brews into Verzik, which is usually plenty. Usually use a brew on Hado, and then I trolled there. I should have just stayed on my Exhume, and then here I should cover Laufey's corner. I thought for some reason Laufey would run to it, but he didn't. I should have ran to it though, so that's my bet. Now here, see, I'm covering in the middle where Tevo, because Tevo's taken, and then here I go back to that one, which is kind of bad. I should have just stayed on the same Exhume, and then here I'm now in my corner, and then that's Tevo's, and Laufey goes to the middle, and that's Saxon, so I should go to the middle, and then I take that. That worked out actually pretty well, except Tevo for some reason left early, but it's fine. And then this is the last Exhume. The last Exhume spawns at around like 42 seconds. And then, yeah, again, you scythe BGS. And then here, you're ready to BGS, but you watch to see if it's close enough to 0 defense. I gauged that it was close enough, and then you just start 5-ticking Xarpus. One way you 5-tick Xarpus is you can look down and see my visual metronome is on 4 ticks, and that means that whenever I step back on that number, like you just one time you're gonna have to just get the cycle right, and then it's always gonna be the same number. So I'm clicking back on 4, so it's always gonna be click back on 4. Unless this hit, I'm eligible to swing on 4, so I move over and I rag the tile. And then after you swing on 4, you attack the boss on 1, and then again keep clicking back on 4. It's not always going to be 4, but it's always going to be the same number for a given Xarpus. And then keep clicking back on 4. If it's any help as well, when he screeches, it's an 8-tick cycle, but he always ends up moving on 4, so if you would attack on 4 during this screech, you're fine. So like here, I attack on 4. I guess even if you attack on 1, yeah, if your scythe XP goes off on 1, but you would have clicked on 4, then you're fine. But yeah, okay. So now onto Verzik. So here we just do Hado. Hado roll 1 is fairly simple. You basically just have to start off by Dawnbringing the boss. You could bring a light bearer instead of like the mage switch here to get a bit of extra spec, but definitely not really needed, and I don't think it's worth. But yeah, you just do 1 Dawnbringer, 3 sights, and then saying pre-fire the boss and do 2 more sights, then run back. This one, after the second auto, you blow pipe pre-fire so that you're ahead in ticks, and then you scythe twice. Then here I actually was able to 4-tick pick up because I saw that he picked up late, so I figured he would drop it late. Then you do 2 specs, and then you drop it again. There, you tank 2 autos in a row. If you drop it and your HP has like been railed by the, like I said, usually use 1 brew. But if your HP got railed by the first auto, then I will end up, after dropping it, instead of after my two Dawnbringer specs, instead of doing a scythe, I'll run back to the pillar, and then you'll only have to tank 1 auto for all of Hado. But since I didn't take that much damage, I took like a 20 on the first auto. I tanked the second. Unfortunately, on the second hit, I took a 60. So there I did a little bit of Boak. Basically, East Boak, when the crabs spawn, you click to like diagonal of where I'm attacking here, diagonal northeast, and use then attack her like in the center of her of this east side for a hit, and then you run back to where the super restore is. Then you run over to like the blue 2 or something. I don't know it that well, but that's generally my thought process while doing Boak on East. Here, I should have just waited a tick. When you're not going for the skip, like I know I'm not going to get the skip here, but I also know that I'm not going to hit the red crab again because it's so low. I don't overkill it. So I could have just waited until I was sure that she was going to be attackable, which means like you wait after she does an auto, then click her. There, if you like chally her close to the last tick or scythe or whatever, and you want to eat up, you can do 2 brews, a restore, and a super combat, and it works out that if you spam click the brew, and then spam click the restore, and then spam click the brew twice, and then spam click the restore, and spam click the super combat, she's eligible to attack about 1 tick after you sip that super combat. So that can also be a way to gauge when to attack her without healing and without getting bounced on the skip. And then here, again, you can use that 4-tick visual metronome to step under. You just have to remember, like I stepped under at 2 there, so the next under is on 1. And then here, because I just know that it's been 4 ticks, I could have attacked there. I had dragged it 1 tick closer, so if I attacked there, then I'd just be dropping 3 ticks, nothing. So it didn't make a difference whether I attacked there or not. And then pretty much just run webs and it dies an auto after webs. If it doesn't die, you can go into the post webs pog tank, which I explained in my video, and you can do that without claw fixing. But yeah, that is a nice little money 4s on Mage roll. And yeah, we end up getting a purple. Unfortunately, it's not very good. I think we get a Verzik. Okay, that was actually a pretty good purple. All right, hope you guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe to videos, and I love making these. So have a good day. Bye.